Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video. Now this video that you are about to watch is going to be highlights from my first Should You Pull stream, where we are going to be going over Arciela and Kain. So there are going to be a couple of clips from that stream that were cut up and put together in this video for those who are not wanting to watch the entire stream. Even though if you are wanting to, there are timestamps in a pinned comment so you can jump into whatever it is that you're wanting to either see or hear. But this is going to be some clips from that stream. There is also going to be some gameplay, mostly for Arciela, because the Kain gameplay I kind of don't really consider it as much of a showcase. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and put together everything into this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your plans are going to be for Arciela and or Kain. That is going to be dropping very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right. So let's go ahead and first take a look into the rework for Arciela. So if you take a look at her skill 1, her skill 1 is now going to be gaining 2 uses. Let me go ahead and zoom in for those who may not be able to see. So her skill 1 is going to be gaining 2 uses. Her ascension buff is not going to get anything changed, but it does provide her with max brave up, party attack up, initial brave up, and party brave regen by 40% of initial brave. So that's for everything that I just said. Her skill 1 is now going to deal an AoE split HP attack 6 times and now allows for 200% stolen max brave overflow. Now this does heal the party HP by 100% of the HP damage dealt up to 40% of max HP, and it does dispel all buffs from the targets, which is a nice add-on for Arciela. If you take a look at her skill 2, it is now going to deal 6 HP attacks. It does deal 50% splash damage after each HP attack. Previously, it was only just for the final HP attack. Also, her HP silence, her HP attack disable on all enemies is now framed. Previously, it was not. So that is a nice little upgrade with that. This also inflicts the max brave and speed down, which is a 30% max brave down and a speed down. Also, her skill 2 does gain 2 uses. Now, if we take a look at her EX, so her EX is now going to be dealing an AoE splits HP attack 8 times. That does allow for 250% stolen max brave overflow, and it does recover brave based on the HP damage by 50% in between HP attacks. Now, her heirloom buff does get a bit of a change, which is it does grant her with a 30% HP damage up. Now, if we take a look at her LD, so her LD, it looks like her passive does grant her a 50% attack up. Her LD now deals an AoE full HP attack 7 times, which does inflict that capacity break debuff. For those who may not know, this debuff is a really good debuff because it prevents the enemy from gaining any brave whatsoever, and it has an HP damage resist down by 20% from the inflictor. So that is the rework that she is going to be getting on global. Now let's go ahead and jump into her FR. Now her FR, it's a non-damaging FR. Quina is going to be her partner. And with this FR, it does heal the party's HP by 80% of the individual's max HP. And the heals may exceed the target's max HP by 30%. Now, the nice thing about this is that because it is a non-damaging FR, instead of the usual, 150%, I believe now it is up to 180%, if I remember correctly. Now, when it comes to her force conditions, so the force conditions, I do consider it to be like almost like a well-rounded FR. And when I say that, I'm talking about that with some of the FRs, you know, there are some FR conditions that can be picky. There's some that may not be as picky, but are very easy to meet, so on and so forth. But with this one, though, the nice thing is that with Arciela, she basically helps you out with both of these conditions. So the first one is 40% increase after party turn while an enemy does not have a buff. And the great thing about it is that with Arciela's skill 1, she is able to cleanse any party buffs. So and the good thing about that is that, like, it's not required for you to have the enemy not have any buffs right there on their turn, but it is afterwards. So it does give you an opportunity to be able to cleanse any buffs that they currently have active. And the same goes with her second condition, which is after party turn while an enemy has a debuff. And I mean, Arciela is able to inflict 2-3 debuffs, so that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. So right there and then, that's an easy 80%. You can easily increase the percentages with this with FR Echo, and you can easily like get a pretty big increase between this easy 80%, and then depending on which FR Echo you're going to be using, so on and so forth. Her BT effect only lasts for 6 turns, which is kind of a bummer, but I mean, with the gameplay that I am thinking about doing after we talk about these two characters, that's not going to be too much of an issue. The BT effects nowadays, like, if they are short at 6 turns, what I typically like to do is I like to equip them with the D3 and the D6 passives, which is the passives that reduces the character's turn rates and their speed, so that allows them to basically get less turns. And you are able to take advantage of their BT effect while everybody else is going to be doing their thing. So her BT effect provides the following. So any inflicted debuffs that Arciela inflicts does not decrease in turns. Now think about it. You got the capacity break debuff, which prevents the enemy from gaining any brave, right? You have her HP silence, which prevents them from hitting you with an HP attack. And then you also have the max and speed down debuffs as well. So basically, you're not going to get hit with an HP attack so long as those debuffs are active and they do not cleanse those debuffs. And at the same time, like, you're preventing them from getting any type of brave or what do you call it? Or they will continue to get affected by that max brave down and speed down. Now, the other thing is going to be that all enemies cannot grant any buffs, meaning that that first condition with Arciela's first condition on her FR, not going to be an issue whatsoever. So that is a big plus right there, where you can literally keep her debuffs active, and at the same time, like, the enemies cannot grant any buffs whatsoever. Now, the other thing that players have that caught players' attention is going to be the fact that she is another character that is going to be able to provide additional HP damage. Now, this additional HP damage is going to be based on the number of debuffs on the target. So as you can see here, at just one debuff, they're going to deal an additional 2% based on the HP damage on HP attacks. And it continues growing by 2%. So the highest that you can actually get with that additional HP damage is going to be 16%. Now, you may be wondering, like, will this actually stack up with other characters who have a similar type of effect where they provide some additional HP damage? Like, take example, a pretty popular combo would be Arciela and Vice. Remember, Vice, so long as you're hitting for the highest amount of HP damage cap, you will deal additional HP damage, and his effect on top of Arciela's effect actually stacks on top of each other. So the additional HP damage that you will notice if you pair the two up together, you're going to notice that you're going to be dealing much higher additional damage. The other little things that Arciela does provide, though, before we switch over to Kain, she does provide party brave damage up 50%, 20% HP damage up, 50% brave damage cap up, and 30% HP damage cap up. Now let's switch over to Kain. So Kain does get a pretty good rework, in my opinion. So if we take a look at his skill 1, so his skill 1 is now going to be able to recover some Brave after his first HP attack, only 30% based on the damage that he deals on that first one. Allows for 120% gain max Brave Overflow. It deals 5 HP attacks. And does it deal any splash damage? It does not deal splash. It does deal splash damage 3 times to be exact. So that is what that does. This did not get any changes. His skill 2 now deals 9 HP attacks. There was no splash damage on this one. It does grant him max Brave Up and attacker buffs. It does allow him to recover 50% Brave in between HP attacks. His EX ability now deals 7 HP attacks with 50% splash after each HP attack. It does delay the group by 1 turn before the last HP attack. Recovers 30% Brave in between HP attacks. Increases party Brave by 30% of the HP damage dealt. And it does initiate a knockback. This is so much easier compared to doing the slides. His LD ability. So it is first going to start off with 4 HP attacks that recovers 30% Brave in between HP attacks. It deals 100% splash damage after each HP attack except for the last. So basically, it's for full HP damage to all targets. But then afterwards, it deals 5 more HP attacks, but it does not deal any splash damage. But it does recover 1 use of his skill 1 and his skill 2. His overhead did get a bit of a change. So let's see here, it doesn't matter what level it is at. So in general, his overhead provides him with an 80% Brave damage up. That explains why his Brave damage output is actually pretty high. It does allow for stolen max Brave Overflow up by 80%. It also grants him a 30% HP damage up, a 20% HP damage cap up. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not know about that. That is news to me. So Kain right there alone has a 20% HP damage cap up. Okay. And a 50% stolen Brave up by 50%. I generally did not know about that. That is news to me. Look at that. There's your content creator. Haven't touched this game in a good minute. It was just subbing through Twitch and saw you live. Hey, welcome, welcome. Speculations for the next banner since they won't do a live stream. My guess is that they are probably going to, at least I'm hoping they are. They're probably going to start releasing the memorial battles. I mean, what other stuff are they going to release? Or are they generally trying to avoid Global getting memorial battles? It's a little weird because technically we should have had 1, maybe 2 at most. If you haven't got none, but JP has already had 5. So it's a little weird. You'd think we'll get the triple BT banner if Arciela JP got somewhat recently in Global. If not, I'm going to have to skip her until whenever she reruns. Possibly, but with the change that they are doing with like all of the events and whatnot, it's kind of like a maybe, like a 50-50. And if they do decide to release it, you never know if they want to change any of the featured characters on there. Because if I'm not mistaken, I do believe they have done that in the past before. No, Arciela drops tomorrow night. Arciela and Kain. And then finally, with Kain's rework, he is gonna be getting a BT rework. So to himself, he gains a 20% HP damage cap up. Okay, so that right there alone, like, okay. So to himself alone, he is gaining a 40% HP damage cap up. That's actually really good. That's really, like, I knew that he got this. I didn't know that he actually got this part when he got his rework in JP. Also, the party is going to be getting a 50% Brave damage cap up. Nice, nice. So Kain to himself right there alone, without his high armor or anything like that, is gaining a 40% HP damage cap up. Now, let's take a look at his FR Echo. So, with his FR Echo, this is one of the few things that was changed with Kain's FR. So now, while your force time is active for Kain, and if you are attacking or you break a target, the party gains a 50% HP damage up / HP damage cap up. His FR now deals 4 AoE HP attacks instead of the previous 3, and it does it does initiate the launch sequence and delays them, which I believe the delay is only for 1 turn, if I'm not mistaken. More than likely, it's probably gonna be 1 turn. It does not say here, but we'll go ahead and say that it is 1 turn, and also his FR is instant turn rate. Let's not forget that. Now, the changes that happen is that now Kain, whenever he uses a ranged ability, and this also includes off-turn triggers, he now deals 50. It is now increased to 15%, which is fantastic. So for Kain alone, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm pretty confident that this also includes Kain because it's a party. Kain, when he is up in the air, is going to be increasing it by 20%. Now, if you are launching or if you initiate a knockback, that is an additional 5. Fujin? Fujin, Sophie in the future, like whoever. I mean, like 5% is 5%. Any increases that you are able to get is a plus, right? Now, the other change that he got with his FR is a 50% increase whenever a party member inflicts or attacks a target afflicted with break. So, in general, you are going to be getting a 50% increase. If you are using ranged units, it's going to be an additional 5. If you are launching them, another additional 5. And then more than likely, you are going to have Kain in the air. So that means that aside from the 50, and then, you know, if you're spamming FR Echo, is going to be a little bit higher. Kain alone is going to be dealing that additional 20%. And with the D3 and the D6 passives acting on him, he should technically be getting pushed back even further. I am not 1000% sure if that technically works on him or not, but I think it might. Again, don't quote me on that, but I'm not 1,000,000% sure. We can test that out once we jump into the gameplay portion of the stream. Yeah, so his FR is definitely more usable compared to what it was before, which it doesn't show the differences between Global and JP, which is a bummer. But yeah, big difference compared to what it was previously, and it's definitely an FR that can technically be used as a main force time. So Arciela, as we already know, she is a strong support unit that offers a lot to the team and can be a pain in the butt to the enemy. So like the HP silence debuff, you have the capacity break debuff that prevents them from gaining any brave right there in an instant. You have the max brave down and speed down debuff. That is the other thing. So yeah, she can definitely be a pain in the butt for preventing enemies from attacking your teammates. Now, like I briefly mentioned earlier, her FR conditions are easy to meet. A well-rounded force time that can easily be increased with FR Echo. Now, the BT effect is fantastic as it offers many different things. So her debuffs, the duration does not go down. The enemies, they do not gain any buffs whatsoever. And then the additional HP damage based on the number of debuffs on the target. So all of that put together, like you can see there, Arciela is a big benefit to any team comp. But at the same time, when it comes to the enemies though, like if they basically just try to do anything to try to get an edge over you, it's not gonna be, they're not gonna have a good time when it comes to having Arciela in your team comps. Now, is Arciela worth pulling for? In my opinion, yes. She has a good amount of utility within her kit. She has a good amount of support within her kit. She does provide a very good amount to your teammates. She actually works very well in a lot of team comps. She works very well when it comes to her additional damage and how it is able to stack up with other characters' additional HP, excuse me, additional HP damage that they provide with whatever effects that they offer. Like, the great thing about Arciela is that she is like those, like, the way that I see her, it's like, she'll be my support, she'll be a pain in the butt to the enemies, and at the same time, though, like, I feel like I am just in general going to benefit from just having her on the team, just standing there looking pretty, and that's about it. One thing that I do want to know is that because her BT effect is short at 6 turns, typically what I normally like to do is that unless I necessarily have to have a BT effect active, if I am going to either use her force time as the main, use her FR as the main force time, or if I'm going to be using somebody else's, I would rather wait until I am done using my FR echoes, because 1, her FR is instant turn rate, 2, her BT effect only lasts for 6 turns, so having her BT effect after you're done spamming her FR is a great way to be able to save 2 turns on her BT effect duration. So Arciela, in my opinion, if you don't see yourself needing a character like her, let's say if like you don't really care if the enemies like hit you with HP attacks because like you have tanks. Let's say you don't really care if for the additional HP damage, the additional damage that she offers to your teammates based on the debuffs that you currently have active, because of the fact that let's say you have other characters that provide that and you are good on supports, then I would say you can probably hold off on Arciela. Arciela is definitely a fantastic character to consider chasing for because of what she offers all in one kit. So I do think that she is going to be a really good asset to a lot of players. If you have not worked on the white crystal characters for your weekly crystal quest, Arciela would actually be a fantastic choice for that, because like she is able to help you out with controlling the enemy, helping you out in dealing that additional HP damage, especially because if you are doing a level 3, they do have additional HP, you know, so on and so forth. So Arciela would be a great support for that as well. In case you have, if you don't have like an FR, like a well-rounded FR like Arciela has, then she could actually be a really good FR or force time to be able to use as your main force time, so that way you can easily increase it with everybody else's FR echo. So I do feel like Arciela is a really, really, really good pickup because of what she is able to offer. So I definitely say that if you want everything that she offers, definitely pull for her FR in BT, especially the BT. I feel like the BT is definitely the biggest priority when it comes to Arciela's kit. Let's see here. What's up, Final Mug? She would age like fine wine. Her kit has always been fire. I remember when she debuted. Arcee is actually a must pull, newbie or veteran. She's like a cheat code for a long time. Facts. Using my tokens on her. I'm actually gonna do the same. I think I have enough tokens for her. It's too many good units. The HP lockdown that Arciela has really is a cheat code. Yeah, and the fact that her BT effect prevents it from going down is even crazier. So, Rufus and Amaranth has me crying. Just playing 14 at the moment. How about you? Oh, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Doing my first live Should You Pull. I think it's going pretty smoothly. At least I assume it is. Unless they're warping when the enemies are getting a turn to HP silence. True. But if they are warping and Arciela's BT effect is active, you don't have to worry about it, because that duration, the duration for that debuff is not going to go down. So you're pretty much safe. Especially if you know that they are going to be going crazy HP happy. then yeah, like she would actually be an excellent choice to having those team comps. Some bosses can cleanse debuffs. That is true. And that's the moment where you would probably not consider bringing Arciela for that. Thankfully, there are not too many bosses with HP thresholds. Yeah, but I kind of missed the... Well, no, I take that back. Because lately in the Shinryu fights, we have had some I guess like some HP gates, technically. Technically. Like the last one, it was, I mean, it did have an HP gain, but in the means of healing, but it wouldn't heal for the full damage that we did to them. I think it was like 80 to 90% that they would actually heal. Let's see. So, but yeah, so Arciela definitely 1000% is worth pulling for, in my opinion. Our favorite, I should have put quotations on that, but you know, I mean, let's be honest. Like when Kain F1 BT first dropped, everybody was mega hyped about him. So our favorite, in quotations, follow-up unit is back with a great rework and a usable FR. So he has strong single target damage with splash damage on his on the rework that he is going to be getting. Like most of his abilities practically have splash damage. So really, like the thing about Kain, which more than likely everybody's going to be doing, is to pretty much have him up in the air, and that's about it. Like he is there to deal his follow-up damage, and that's all he is going to be doing. While he is in the air, he becomes untouchable, and he continues to deal his follow-up attack. So, Kain, while he's on the ground, good damage. While he's on the air, good damage. His follow-up damage, though, while he's in the air, did not get reworked. I think if I remember correctly, I didn't think I was expecting them to do any type of rework. If they did, I would have been surprised, but I personally didn't think, at least now. I will say that I didn't think that he was going to get one. That makes no sense. Whatever, we're going to keep that in there. But yeah, no, Kain basically, like a very strong follow-up attacker, will trigger his follow-ups after every action, if I'm not mistaken, or either every action or every HP action. Let's play it safe and say every HP action, because it's been a very hot minute since I have used Kain. But the great thing about Kain is that after he jumps let's start that over. So when he jumps, he actually pushes himself back in the turn order, so you are not going to see him on the ground or coming to the ground for quite a while. So that means that he's going to be dealing consistent amount of follow-up damage while he is in the air. Overall, I do think that he's still very much viable to this day in JP, as crazy as that may sound. I do think that can still definitely be used as a really good unit, and we're going to make sure that he looks good as hell once we jump into the gameplay portion of this stream. But no, basically, like, let's say, for example, if you pulled for Cisne, if you're a new player, you pulled for Cisne because you wanted those consistent AoE follow-up damage, and if you don't think you are going to need Kain, who does a follow-up damage, except that he does it in the air and he becomes untouchable and he pushes himself back in the turn order, I would say you can probably hold off on pulling for Kain's F4 and BT. If I'm not mistaken, I do not think he has been reran since this banner that you are looking at on the screen. So yeah, so that's really about it that I can really say about Kain, to be like 100% honest. I just think that he is a solid follow-up attacker, and that's really about it. It's really not much to say. Like, so it's just at the end of the day, I think it just mostly depends on you yourself if you need him or not. If you already have him built for any of my veteran players out there, enjoy the free rework. You are definitely going to enjoy it. The banners lately have been missing garbage time. Whoever doesn't need to be. Alright, this should be a better run. No issues here. When is the next stream for Global? There is actually not going to be a stream. There was going to be a, whatchamacallit? There's going to be a community notice. An in-game notice, excuse me. Letting us know what is going to be happening for the next month worth of content. By the way, if anybody wants to do me a favor and check in-game on Global, if a notice has popped up by any chance, That would be fantastic. I'd appreciate it. Just to see if they haven't posted anything just yet. What's up, Pasty? Welcome. Put this bad boy in. Oh no, this frame. They don't. No, I should be good. Not much. Just enjoyed my birthday weekend. Hey, happy birthday. Or happy late birthday. Nothing in game yet? Thank you guys, thank you. So if anything doesn't, if nothing popped out today, then maybe tomorrow night we might see something, maybe. Maybe. For a second I was like, wait, they're not attacking me? Ow, they hurts me. Maybe in 6 hours? Maybe. They want to do a morning super mega early notice. Kinda hope not. Oh, you got HP silence and you're confused. Poor you. What are we going to do? There we go. Arciela will be like, I'll break you. You still can't do nothing, no. Let's see here. So it's RC Kain banner tomorrow? Yes. We'll suck if it's not Arciela. Don't say that. Can you imagine if Global just did like a big fat meme and all of a sudden it was just like, hey, guess what? Here's Aiko. Glad Agrius finally got some love saying. Agrius is so much fun to use. I love it. I have to be a little bit careful here because of that orb. Getting attacked a second time, damn. Alright. I have to be very careful here. Ice cream! Okay, only one down by one. Okay, cool. FR Echo Spam! Tactics on the top favorite FF list. I would play Tactics, but I'm not a fan of that playstyle. At all. No offense to anybody who likes it. I just generally don't. Ooh, that juicy 165! I actually need Jack again. Had to start a new account a couple months ago. Which Jack? It's like 3 Jacks in the game. 2 or 3, excuse me. Excuse me. Is Kona every 50 in JP? You know I'm not 1000%. No, I don't think so. I think Quinn is still FE50. Oh, excuse me, F50. 30. I don't think, no, yeah, I think Quinn is still 30. Because I don't think I've seen Quina in a banner, even as an LD. No, I've never played Tactics. I probably won't. OPOP should be this upcoming Wednesday. I think it's gonna be the next. I think it's probably gonna be next weekend. Oh, this coming weekend. I guess it'll likely be my next BT token target after Ferris. I guarantee 1% damage is just too good. If it weren't, Ruiz, Shinryu, Ultimisha, Quinn, and Agrius would be such a broken team. Alright. I forget, was it Turn Manipulation or Granting Brave? It was Granting Brave, okay. This boss has HP thresholds, where you need to grant Brave, or if not, they're going to, like, they're just gonna do continuous healing. Should the next OPOP be that Monday after Thanksgiving? Possibly. You think at some point Clive would come to Depot? What kind of character would he be? More than likely, melee DPS. Got me a capture card for my birthday? Nice. My birthday is actually, this Thursday, on Thanksgiving, oddly enough. And I actually just brought myself a present. Oh, what he done? Oh my god, that additional HP damage. Whew! 456k. It's a regen, 100% HP refund from the threshold. No, I think it's about like 80 or 90%. Let's jump into summon before I get my cheeks clapped. Alexander. Alright. Let's use skill Uno. That fixed damage, boys. Come on now. 8 debuffs, and that fixed damage is around like 450k plus on every HP attack. You cannot go wrong with that. Go wrong with it. You gotta appreciate that. Is what I meant to say. So it healed for about 5 mil of that. And it just healed for, okay, so it's about 90% healing. Happy birthday, Dave. Thank you. Simply all my best on me. Yeah. 54 mil. Let's go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and show off. This is crystal ability number 4, which grants me a 2-turn big stat boost increase. Like, look at Agrius's HP value. She hit thick as hell. Look at my back spray. What deals more damage? You right? Magic Gladiator on G. Oh, I did. They were thicker. Alright. Skill 2. Oh, there goes one. The fact that you survive is kind of surprising, but you're dead anyways. I saw someone do an NG run with 500k HP. Damn. Actually, speaking of Simply, you use a capture card. Yes, I do. I actually have two. I have the HD60S and the the Elgato HD60S, and then the 4K one, the one that goes inside your computer. Okay, so that was Arciela. As like our primary support on the team, you saw the HP silence did not go down for her while her BT effect was active. We use her FR as a main force time, easily able to spam FR Echo with that. And the additional HP damage, whenever there are 8 total debuffs, very good amount of additional HP damage. And you can't stack that up with other characters' additional HP damage. So Arciela is still very much viable to this day in JP, even though the gap between Global and JP is not that far off. But you get what I mean.